Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to celebrate. Game 7 is over. The Oklahoma City Thunder are champions for the first time in NBA history. And I called this a year ago, last season. I said SGA will win the MVP. I said he'll win Finals MVP too. A great year, one of the greatest years by an NBA franchise in league history. How many can the big three of SGA, J Dub, and Chet Holmgren win if they stay together? What
Mm.
y'all think, fellas? Oh, and then, hold on, this is my celebratory shot. I almost forgot to announce from Costco, the whiskey from Costco. My celebratory shot because I'm joining the party with OKC. Hopefully, they send me a flight out for the parade.
Man, shout out to OKC. The entire state of Oklahoma. Y'all got y'all a ring.
Yes,
First one in
sir.
Oklahoma City history. Shout out to all the players, SGA, Chet, Williams, everybody. Shout out to Sam Presti. Want to definitely give him his props as well. This is 17 years in the making. But to answer your question, you know, I don't know if they can win multiple. I don't know. And it has nothing to do with them personally.
Mm-hmm.
But what we've seen since 2019 is no one's winning multiple championships, right? Like we all come from the era when we were growing up. You seen the Bulls three-peat. We seen the Lakers three-peat. We seen the San Antonio Spurs never back to back, but win multiple championships in a short time period. But the last 7 years, no one has even came close to repeating. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're going off just the history of the last 7 years, I'm gonna say they're not going to win one anytime soon. But talent wise, I think they can. They can win multiple. I'll say this: they have the best chance of winning, of going back to back than any team we've seen since the Warriors. They have the best chance. They have the best shot.
Mm.
I mean, the question is how many can they run off, right? And I mean, at this age, like you said, 26 and 24, it's going to be 27 now, like you said, right off the edge of the summer. So they have a 5 year window. Potentially can get to three, realistically.
Mm.
But I think we did talk about it a few games ago. They need to be forward thinking. They might have to retool their team, not be scared to take those big swings to extend and
Mm.
wherever they feel they were deficient in, which is hard to say off the heels of a championship, but the only way you get better is if you look at your weaknesses and improve them. And so if they're able to add additional shooting, 3 and D players, it might not have to do anything with the big three and more so the role players that they maybe acquire down the line. So they have 5 years and 2 more chances to get it. I believe in that 5 year run for being realistic. We factor in injuries and anything else that might happen.
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. OKC is gonna repeat a championship for next year.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. You went from Pacers winning the 7 to OKC repeat next year. Mm.
Hey man, my boy took a shot in the back of the ankle. He couldn't
Oh
get up.
man.
He went down. So hey, that was all my hope just went out. Like you know how when you in the cold and the frost come out your mouth, the cold air. That's what came out of mine when he went down and started beating on the ground. I just all the hope just went out. It's gone. But hey, that's how it goes. But you know what? I think I might have said this in the beginning. OKC have a team that can repeat winning as long as they stay together and keep the main thing.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
three that they have with Jalen Williams, MVP, SGA, and Chet, that's a three that can beat any team in this NBA, and they've shown it.
Mhm.
Especially through the West. because for the most part, the West was healthy. Outside of Gordon's injury, the West was healthy.
Yep.
And they went through the West with outside of the Denver series without too many hiccups. So I can see them getting back just from that standpoint. I mean, you do have and we'll probably segue into this a little later, but with the Kevin Durant trade in Houston, that may present some, some challenges, and even with a healthy Spurs. But as far as with OKC, salute, congratulations. But I see them coming back repeating.
Mm. Nah, man, I can see that too, man. I think this is the beginning of a dynasty if they can stay together, if they keep this core together. Obviously, is that's going to be tough. It's always tough keeping guys on the same team, especially with how much money is involved, and you got guys like I'm not sure of his contract situation, but like Lou Dort, who showed the world how valuable he is. He was huge in this playoff run. He was huge in the finals. But I think the main thing is keeping the big three together. And when obviously, like, you can start looking at, you can try to look at who's the weak link in there, and you may say, some may say that's Chet, but then Chet has a game 7 tonight that was slightly overshadowed by SGA and J Dub, because they usually do the bulk of the scoring, bulk of the ball handling. But he had 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks, I believe. And I think I seen that's the most in NBA Finals history. And that's things that only him, like guys like him and Victor Wembanyama do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, SGA did a great job of, when he talked about him, he was like, he's out there, every night he's doing things that maybe you don't see, but he's
Mark,
that
can I add
important to
something
this
to that
team.
too?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, go ahead.
I actually seen a video where he was getting interviewed. I believe it was last summer, and it just kind of came to the question of like, what do you want to work on your game? And I think his response kind of basically clarifies his perspective on basketball. And his whole thing was the game itself is what dictates what I need to work on. And I think playing on a team like OKC, right, where he's not going to get all the type of shots he might have been used to coming up,
Hmm.
uh, having to play third fiddle, defensive anchor, rebounds on the offensive and defensive end, energy, and then having to still be able to knock down a shot here or there when things come down to that. So yeah, just right in line to what you were saying. He also has the mentality that I think fits in line, and he was one of the people that we had under the microscope, right? Where
Hmm.
we felt he might have underperformed, but history will look back on him, like you said, for contributing where his team needed him most. And so, in that respect, shout out to Chet Holmgren, another extremely high pick in the draft that's living up to the billing. And Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, like Jelani said, the state of Oklahoma and all the Hoop fans out there and fans of basketball. I just want to say thank you to both the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder in large part because they carry us into the new era of basketball.
Now,
Hmm.
off top, and I think one thing none of us mentioned is right in front of our faces when we talk about how many can they win, can they repeat or not. I may have to Google this, but how many draft picks do they have in the next few years?
Yeah, I
Isn't it
guess
something crazy?
it's a
So,
lot.
because Adol said you may have to retool, and that makes sense. When you got draft picks to play around with, you can retool easy.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So, I'm excited to see what they can do. I'm not gonna go and jump off the cliff like Dalen and say they are gonna repeat, but like if anybody can do it in this era, it's them. I will say that.
Only thing that'll keep them from not repeating is the strip club. That's it. They
I
stay at a
mean,
strip club. They stay
Do
out
they?
party. You know,
well,
Hold on, but
well they in Oklahoma, bro. Come
do they?
on.
Yeah, do they got strip clubs in OKC?
I'm pretty sure there's
Come
a
on,
strip
come on. Let's not
somewhere
play.
in
Let's not play with the
OKC
small markets like
that
that.
will not
If,
get
if we was
blew away
talking
Okay.
by those
Houston,
tornadoes.
Atlanta, you
Okay.
know.
See, we're not. I'm not partaking in that. Okay. See,
Hey,
we're not.
that's a
Come on, man.
humble state out there. That's
Man, look, hey,
That isn't
I'll
even the
pull up,
limelight.
man. Hold on, man. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Oklahoma City strip clubs.
Hey, but to answer your question, Jelani, man, you got 13 first round picks over.
Between now and between this season and what season?
Going on, like as deep as 2028 from what I'm seeing. So that's about another 3 year window where they, yeah, and they have 17 second round picks, so that's 30 picks over the. I don't. They can't keep all those picks. It doesn't make. Does that is yeah? I don't even understand how off a championship you have that much ammunition.
You know what it's like? It's like when you in the hood and you that, when you got it. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, if you if you want to be a part of, what I'm doing or whatever, you go run by my rules. It's like, you know what I mean? And that's what OKC is doing. Like, I don't even know, like, I disagree with I agree with retooling, right? But I don't think they have to look for anything. I think the rest of the league, I think y'all got to come talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if y'all want some of these picks or whatever, y'all trying to grow y'all future. You look at a team like Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Phoenix ain't got no draft picks. They just traded away KD, and we gonna get into that. And they got a first round pick for this draft, and what, 5 second round picks?
Yep.
Yep.
And you still might want to get rid of Bradley Beal. I think that's what they trying to do over there. Get rid of Bradley Beal. Who knows what Devin Booker is going to want to do? And what do you want to do? Like, you stepping into my office, and I think that's what Sam Presti is doing right now. I think he should get a good night rest. Tonight. I don't think he got to think about anything. It's like y'all got to talk to me, and you got to come correct. And I
Man,
think OKC is
don't
gonna be running the ship.
he don't need no rest. Hey man, shout out to Secrets out there in OKC, the new adult entertainment club. Hey, it's about to turn up
My
tonight.
boy did the
Hey,
research.
another one, Little Darlings. Hey, it's about to be cracking tonight, man. Y'all about to go out there and have a little fun, man. Enjoy your championship.
Bring
Hey,
your
but look,
drink.
hey, take you a shot, have a little fun. Hey, Sam Preston, don't be scared. Have a little fun, dog. Um, hey, but I wanted to add something to that chat. Adar, you said the game dictate what he needs to work on, right?
Mhm.
What I wanted to add to that is I don't think he needs to work on much. I think he can look back at this game 7 and that'll tell him exactly what he needs to
What he
do for
need to do. Yep. Yep.
because what he did today was a prime example of his value for that team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's shot blocking. He's diving to the basket.
Yeah.
He's altering shots. That tells you everything of value of what he brings to that OKC team. As I'm not gonna call him a
Yeah.
third wheel, but I'm
He's
gonna call him like
resilient.
a very important second wheel. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
he showed up today and he's been ridiculed a lot through this series.
A
And
lot.
I think that's his role, what he showed today in game 7.
And he's been
Mhm.
resilient. That's the
Yep.
thing for me. Early on in his career, the conversation immediately shifted to he got injured playing pickup pro am in Seattle, stepping on LeBron's foot, and it altered kind of what OKC's path was. But the big thing that any fan of sports or any fan who's in a position where they may feel their team is not doing things, all it takes is either the right ownership, the right thought process to where when Russ left OKC, it was a very grim outlook for what OKC could do as a franchise, right? How do you come back from 3 MVPs all walking out of the team? And this situation with Chet just goes to show you have a little patience, develop your talent, and you might end up winning championships because of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Absolutely,
and
man.
another thing is, obviously this is only Chet's second season in the NBA. Obviously he was drafted 3 years ago, but you mentioned the injury. Second season, and his rookie year. was with another phenom, which is Victor Wembanyama.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's going to be, in my opinion, when they first came in, that was going to be like kind of the new like Magic Bird, type thing where,
Mm-hmm.
you got these two, 7-footers who can do a lot of things. They can handle the rock, they can shoot the ball, they block shots. Very, very similar players. I think most give Victor Wembanyama the edge right now.
Mm-hmm.
But with Chet getting this head start in the ring department, is this going to be is this going to be a is this going to be a rival that we actually compare 10 years from now? Are we going to be talking about Chet and Wemby 10 years from now?
I think so. I think it depends on the Spurs and who they put around them.
Mm,
I think today you'll say Wemby's the better player. I think it's still too early to really, make that a definite thing. But I'll give the edge to Wemby right now. But like you said, Chet got the edge in the rings. But I think the Spurs can put some pieces around him so they can compete. They already got De'Aaron Fox, so that the OKC San Antonio might be, the West Coast or the Western Conference version of New York and Indiana.
mm-hmm.
And I never thought of it until you brought it up, right? You got these two unicorns battling. Like I would love to see
Mm-hmm.
that in the Western Conference Finals for
Right.
years to come, man. Yeah, so I'm definitely rooting for both of them, and I hope both of them can stay healthy. Because one thing we don't really talk about, like these guys won what 66 or 68 games or whatever. Chet missed 50 of them.
That's
He
crazy.
missed 50 and they still won that many games. So I say that to say, I hope both of these guys stay healthy. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Wemby's
Wow.
season was cut short because of the blood clot situation. I think they would have gotten the play-in for at least the play-in. They might have snuck in the playoffs if Wemby's healthy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's
And
just
that's
hope that they stay
Indiana's
healthy, man. And speaking of health, you
supreme
know,
health. That's
where does Indiana go from here on out with the Halliburton situation, right? Like, where do
Right.
they go?
Yeah, they got like and I actually think, you know, first of all, prayers up to Tyrese Halliburton. Played a heck of a it was a heck of a playoff run. He came out hot tonight, and it looked like he was gonna be on pace to have a big game and contribute to potentially trying to win a chip. But I think this is actually a decent year to be looking for a replacement point guard slash backup point guard, because you have guys like Chris Paul out there.
Hmm.
You got guys like, on a lower level, but still, like you would love to have him off the bench is like Russell Westbrooks or whatever. And I think Russell Westbrook, I think he'll fit nicely with the Pacers and the way they play. But I think you got affordable guys at the point guard position that you could get that can help bridge that gap that's going to be missing with Tyrese being out for a long period of time.
mm-hmm.
But it's definitely going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough, but they have the, coaching infrastructure there, Rick Carlisle, Lloyd Pierce, and they know who they are, and they'll also know who they're missing. So, but I think this is a good time, to be looking for that type of point guard. And I think they'll get it. I think they'll get it.
I mean, when this injury happened, Jelani gave me a call like, "Oh my God, you called it," and I'm like, that's one of those moments where you don't want to be right about a prediction because that calf injury, Kevin Durant was the first injury of the Achilles that I remember where I could visibly see the Achilles popping. And credit to the OKC Thunder fans because they did not behave how the Toronto Raptor fans behaved. They are true competitors, and I think they showed a lot of class in that moment because it showed that they would have rather lost to a healthy Halliburton than see someone go down, right? Because again, we're all fans of the NBA, and when the product is at its best is when everyone is healthy. So for me, the concerning trend that I'm seeing here is we've had three All Stars go down with Achilles tears in the same playoffs. That would be Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and now potentially Halliburton. We'll get word in a few days. But what's the cause behind that? It's I did a little research, and the Achilles absorbs about 12 times our body weight, right? So you can think about all the stop and go motions, jumping, sprints. So there's a lot of force that's being generated in the NBA game. So does the NBA need to look into having more floor technicians that are able to wipe down wet spots? Because some of the conversation has been around why was Halliburton tripping in the same area, right? So we don't need to get into that, but I think just the quality of the court, but also that wear and tear. And Halliburton was debuting new shoes. Not to point out anything, but Lonzo Ball's injuries, a lot of people credited to a weak support, and so is it a bit of both? I'm not sure, but I hope again a lot of these players can avoid that injury because if it means sitting out 2 weeks and avoiding that type of injury, need to consider it because Halliburton came out tonight, gave it his all, but how do we move forward as an NBA organization? I guess that's what I'd be asking if I was Adam Silver. Like, this is something that's a problem.
Mm.
Yeah, and it is. You're seeing it too often, and that's the scary part. You're seeing these injuries happen a lot. And granted, we've seen three this postseason, and you seen it happen to high level players,
Yep.
and that's the part that really scares the NBA. But I would also say it's a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of chance. It's a little bit of technology, maybe the floor technology. Players are stronger, faster, more agile nowadays. It's a little bit of everything. So we can't just pinpoint one thing and say that it's that one. I think it's a multitude of things. And I was one of those players that, well, not players, but I was one of those persons that was like, I think he shouldn't play. But
Mhm.
on the other hand, I'm like, ain't no way anybody can tell me if I'm in that situation, I'm not
Yeah.
playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to risk that injury to play in the game 7, not only for myself, but I mean, it's a couple things for myself, for my brothers that's on that team, but also to make sure these naysayers, these sports analysts, not call me something that I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as he would have said, I'm gonna sit out this game, you would have had analysts. Well, he didn't want it enough. He
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he left his brothers hanging. You know what I mean? And we gotta also be mindful that a lot of this stuff plays in the head of these players.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
don't want to does a certain way. So I give my hat off to Halliburton because what he showed today was he was a rider for that team, and that's why that team rides for him the way they do
Mhm.
because
Mm-hmm.
he puts it all on the line every game, whether it's a massive scoring night or a massive assist night. You see him giving his all to that, and just to kind of clip back to the game, you see why that game got stagnated at points. You start to see players just watch McConnell go one on one for a
Mm-hmm.
long stretch of the time. You see why
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't score for a long stretch of the time because of his productivity while he's on that floor. So
Yep.
it's that injury sucks, especially in a game 7. But it's also a thing where we as overall fans and even analysts in our position, we got to be mindful of what we say about certain players because it does play a part.
Mhm.
It does play a part.
Absolutely.
But I never thought
Absolutely.
I never thought I would see the day where someone would be as popular as Reggie Miller The Pacers have embraced Halliburton, and I think there have been people that have came back from this injury, and Halliburton can, I think, rest assured in his recovery because Nembhard showed a lot of passing ability that, again, I just didn't know was there, and so it was nice to see maybe in real time how that team can elevate and evolve. So. Shout out to the trainers though, man. The Indiana Pacers trainers, they got him out for Game 6, but luck just didn't fall their way, man. So hopefully we get to see this run again because I'm just yeah, that was a great run, man. Shout
Yeah,
out to Ty Halliburton, man.
I think he's gonna come back just as strong, if not stronger. We seen it with KD,
Mm-hmm.
right? He damn near eliminated the Bucks. His
Mm-hmm.
big toe was on the line. That was right after Achilles tear. So I think Halliburton can do the same thing, man. I
Yeah,
hope he does
no.
it. I hope he come back. He gave us some great basketball. He gave us one of the best runs we've seen in the postseason. So
Yeah,
prayers up, man. I hope he come back greater than ever.
me too,
Yeah, and I
man.
think his style of play, fits. It's gonna adjust. Post injury. I think he'll come back. I think better. I think he'll be even more hungrier, and I think he still had that chip on his shoulder of proving people wrong, which I think he did. Naysayers, he obviously had some bad games. Are we calling him the best player in the world? No. But he showed that he's definitely not the most overrated player in the NBA. And
Not even close.
anybody that still feels that way, you just absolutely ridiculous and you're hating. Because the dude showed heart, he showed leadership. He just, what he ran up against two things in this that stopped him from being an NBA champion:
Uh-huh.
the Oklahoma City Thunder and SGA in this injury.
yeah.
That those are two. One of those things was one something that I picked. To happen anyway. I didn't think the
The
Pacers
bald eagle.
would be.
The
Yeah,
bald
and he came
eagle.
through. Got number
Hey
two.
man, Caruso's going
Hey, he
crazy.
was trying to yam
Got
on
number,
Hey, he
somebody. I'm like,
trying
I
to
didn't even
put
know he
them
had
down,
hops like
man.
that.
yeah. Hey,
Uh,
they calling him Unc at 31. He
But that,
still
Hey,
he
damn, what
still
that make
got young
us?
legs.
We all over 31 on here.
Yeah, if he
oh,
yeah, we OG. we
For real.
for real, man.
we been.
we
You
OG
see this?
if he
I've been
but
up for a long time now, dog.
hey, hold on. Ain't you supposed to shave it off now?
Man, hey, hold on, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Ain't
whoa,
you?
whoa, whoa. I was hoping nobody remembered that. I
Yeah,
was hoping.
So wait,
yeah.
I,
hold on. It was you
let
had a
me
bet?
see.
What was the bet?
Yeah.
You had a bet that if the Pacers
He
lost, you
said
was gonna shave your head?
If the Pacers lost, he'd shave his head.
No, no, no.
I
I
was there
said
for
Yeah,
the
that
we
day.
we
I
hey,
wasn't there for
Hey,
we
that
were.
day.
He said, I hope
no, no,
nobody
no.
remembered that.
I said if.
Oh,
Hey, we
oh,
gotta go back to the video. I said if the Pacers come back, because I remember saying that after they went down 3-1.
That's comedy.
Did I say? Hey, we gotta watch the video, man. Hey, we'll look at the
We
Run
got
the
video
tape.
later.
yeah, we gotta watch it back.
Dog, run the
We gotta
We
tape.
gotta
rewind
watch
the
it
video.
back. We
me
need
and
a challenge.
I got.
That is
Hey,
hilarious.
We
I
gotta
got one more
challenge that.
question for summer school. Let me get this out the way first.
yeah, that's comedy. Hey man, guys, though, could I actually?
Oh,
I was thinking about something though, man.
man.
Because today was like two big dominoes have dropped in the trade news, right? I think NBA is already shifting quickly into the off season, and for these two big trades to fall right before the draft, right? Now we know that the Phoenix Suns are sellers,
Yeah.
but beyond that, right? A lot of teams seem to be in the hunt for centers, specifically rim running centers that can defend. And so, in your opinion, how do we shift into the offseason and what is the biggest story now that the dominoes of Desmond Bain and Kevin Durant have already fell? Is there another potential superstar that we're looking for to be on the move?
Mm. Well,
I'm gonna jump early. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think we kind of mentioned it a few minutes ago. Bradley Bill. And I just thought of it. I can see Bradley Beal in San Antonio. I
Okay.
don't know how that would fit because I think that would spread the floor a little bit more for De'Aaron Fox. You'll be able to run a little bit more pick and roll with them. Bradley Beal do what he do best, shoot. I can see San Antonio making a move to add to that team. And for me, I think shooting will be their next big move for San Antonio. And we all know that Bradley Beal want to be out of here. But he got to go somewhere where he want to, that he's going to okay because he has that no trade clause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he will want to go to a contender right away.
And the thing I would say too about San Antonio, right? They were major players and considered some favorites, top two favorites in the KD sweepstakes. But Houston was, I think, more aggressive and probably a better landing spot in the end. But San Antonio can also still consider going through the draft because whoever they draft, again, it could be a nice. De'Aaron Fox is the veteran, which is outrageous to think, but you still have Wemby, and then pairing Wemby with that, all they would need is a clean bill of health to be able to have a new trio. So, if not there, right, a team that I think will be a big threat to OKC is obviously Dallas if they come back healthy. But I could see Clay Thompson. I've heard his name, but I don't know if they want to get rid of that shooting. But if Clay Thompson is on the move, look out for the Phoenix Suns to potentially look to pair that with Devin Booker. I think they're going to try to keep Bradley Beal, though. I don't know why. I just feel like they need some bigs and they could be in a good position, but who knows? I'm
Well,
excited, though,
I
man.
think
I'm ready. I'm ready.
every
It's gonna be a big
with
offseason.
Phoenix or whatever. Yeah, it's been so many problems, reported over there in Phoenix that, who knows what we're looking at. Like, are they gonna, Devin Booker, his name has to be in the hat or whatever. Would they be willing to give up Book? I think Booker is the only one who, Phoenix basically when they brought this team together, they lost all of their future as far as draft picks.
Yeah.
And even with this KD trade, they only got one first round pick
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of second round picks, so still their future is still sketchy right now. And the only player I see that they can get rid of that can get you some first round picks, back, because you look at Desmond Bain. Desmond Bain, what he was four first round picks. I think Devin Booker is the only one that you're getting at. Was it five?
No, I said why. It doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
I was, but the thing
That's a whole nother
is like,
conversation.
yeah, I get it. I get it when we're looking at KD and we're looking at Desmond Bain. If I'm an organization, I'm not giving up multiple first round picks for KD. I'm giving up multiple picks for a couple of years. This KD's 37. I need a future if I'm giving up picks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But if I'm Phoenix Suns, the only player I know I'm guaranteed to get picks and stuff back, pick that player is Devin Booker. But I think Sacramento Kings are going to be in the running for some changes. Team DeMar DeRozan name keep getting brought up of a secondary option for teams like Miami and San Antonio who missed out on the KD sweepstakes. So we could see some moves there. The one thing I do know is that we're going to see a lot of changes, and the fact that Desmond Bain and KD happened during the NBA Finals, that means it's going to be a lot of pieces to the puzzle, moving around,
One thing I'm not.
approaching not even just free agency, but approaching the NBA draft, which is next week.
One thing that's really bothering me about this segment. I usually don't get irritated, but the Los Angeles Lakers have not been brought up yet. I won't be allowing that to happen, okay? The Lakers will be players. They have a bag to drop, and they will drop it. Mark my words, okay? But
And
the
that's
reason I
probably why they're quiet. because they just made the deal. They just sold the team, the majority stake, and if I'm not mistaken, Winter he has no problem with spending money to bring
Man,
championship.
What's
So
the what's the second apron? What's the third apron? Not hearing you there.
doesn't matter. Like
it doesn't matter. It
it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Salary
And
cap,
like
don't worry about it. We'll bite that salary cap. We'll take that.
hmm
Hey, but I
And hey,
do.
some options too, man. Just two players that come to mind. Nas Reed. Not sure Miles Turner will want to abandon Indiana, but he has the option to get out of there and seek greener pastures. And I couldn't help but watch him today and think he would replace a lot of what we lost with Anthony Davis. I say I say we as most Laker fans, right? But just the Lakers, I think will be big players, and the NBA summer will be a failure if they do not get involved and make a mark. The big markets need to still fight for their right in this NBA because they are storied franchises. They carry the
mm,
league.
mm.
I
That
love it.
respect, yeah.
Laker Nation.
And then the New
Or
York Knicks got to
oh
be
my
aggressive too. They got to consider all
Mm.
options, right? The Boston Celtics, the Sixers might be players and making some moves, or they stay pat. I'm excited though. I'm
hey
excited.
man, I just want to say this. The Lakers have been known for making huge moves. And a lot of people don't realize the Lakers were a small business, a small family ran business making these moves.
Uh-huh.
Now we got a tycoon billionaire who retooled, we're gonna keep on using that word, adult, retooled the Dodgers. And you see what they've done the last couple of years,
Retool them into a
right? They got
champion.
cats from Japan. They got cats from everywhere. He's like, hey, you good at
Shout out
baseball?
Shohei Ohtani,
Come to the
Wonder
Dodgers. The
Kid.
Lakers are gonna do the same thing now. So this whole era of all these cats, all these teams not winning back to back, that's gonna come to an end in about a year or two. Give us a year or two. It's gonna be another dynasty.
Let him figure out the lay of the
Man,
land, but we'll be good, man.
Nah, it's come on. We gonna get
man,
another big name.
The Laker takeover, Mark. Hostile
I'm
Hey,
takeover.
waiting.
they telling Houston.
I'm loving it.
They telling Houston,
I'm
Orlando. Yeah, that's cute. All that little stuff you doing, that's cute. That's cute. Hey, but we deep sea fishing right now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we deep sea. We in the middle of the ocean, right? Our boat is doing this. There's one big fish that we trying to go get, and we go get
hey,
big fish.
I
Oh, we're gonna get one of the
I
top
I
two, top
We
love
gonna
three
get
big
big
fishers
fishes,
out
man.
there.
I love it, man. I
Houston, that's
love
cute.
You
I
see me
love
sit back.
I
Hey, you
love the
see me
Lakers
sit back and
attitude,
enjoy what
man.
you see. What I'm
You
enjoying it.
know what? The whole time y'all was talking was what all I was thinking of is like, memes are usually jokes and stuff. Memes are usually meant to just be funny. But Laker fans are the one fan base that fits certain memes perfectly. Like you always see every year it'd be like, oh, Laker fans thought this would be their roster. And it'll be LeBron, Kobe, D Wade, Michael
Well,
Jordan, Shaq.
but
And
we
then,
do.
and then it'd be like, but
Look,
they ended up with Antoine Jameson, Eric Dampier,
look,
and whoever. And then
Yeah,
and like
Hey, relax on
relax.
that.
We got Luca. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this. We're just as bad as Cowboy fans, except we actually win. You feel
that's
me?
it.
We
Yeah,
win.
that's a good one.
win.
All
Yeah,
right.
That's a good one,
ain't
man.
the
That's who
Cowboy.
we are. I wear it, man. I say it with my chest.
I mean, and
We are the
Mark.
most obnoxious fans in sports
Yep. And,
behind the Dallas Cowboys. But it's because we win though, Like I didn't seen the Lakers deliver 6 championships in my lifetime, man. That's a lot.
hmm
Only thing worse than a Cowboy fan is a mosquito bite. That's the only
Damn.
thing that's worse than a Cowboy fan. That's it. Mosquito bites that you can't stop scratching. That's the worst. That's the only thing worse than a Cowboy fan.
They think they're gonna win it
Oh
every season
my
too.
Every season they don't
God.
win. They don't even make it to the playoffs. That's how it be. And then they lose in the playoffs.
Oh my
First,
God, man.
Lakers, we actually win.
Hey,
Yeah, we do.
Chips to
I
show
mean,
for.
hey,
hey,
and
but
the reason why it's so crazy that we're talking about this is because some of the reports that have came out is a lot of the trade rumblings will kind of break down during the draft, and for it to have happened prior to the
mhm.
draft, I'm sure those conversations now shift to how can we acquire these assets that we've been looking at maybe since the trade deadline that just passed in February. So I think those conversations probably start tomorrow morning if they haven't started
Tomorrow morning,
right back to
I,
the
business
morning
because Thursday is
after,
the draft. You can't wait. There's no. It's a
Mar-
business, and the calendar changes fast.
bro. I'm here
it
for it.
does.
I'm gonna miss
The
the Bus
morning
family
after.
though. I'm gonna miss the Bus family, but
Man, she's still there though. She's governor. She's still helping out with
Yeah,
operations, bro. You
yeah, it's still not gonna
not
be
an
the same though,
obituary,
man.
bro.
That's
She's still here.
the Lakers were a very they ownership group, very unique. Ain't no other ownership group like the Bus ownership group. Like you're not gonna see that again in sports. That was it. That was the last of it.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, with
Hey,
and another topic we could get to, man, the expansion. That's gonna allow other owners to come in. So
yeah, because
hopefully
hey,
some good owners
the
come into
only
the league and help grow the game. That's the point.
the only bus I'm worried about missing is this bus that's happening in OKC. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna miss it, but that's the bus I'm concerned about. The bus in LA, nobody care about the bus in LA no more. They don't care. It's gone until we you seen the video of the buses. OKC had their buses. They were shining them up. They just painted them like damn, but they've been there all year. I let the cat out the bag.
They're
I
at
know
the airport. They're at the airport right now.
they've been getting ready.
Man,
They've been waiting on this. They cut the
we gonna let
top
the
off.
OKC
It is
Thunder have their
detachable.
time.
Like
They're at the
hey,
airport
because it
getting
is their
ready.
time.
We gonna let them have their time. We gonna let
Hey,
whoever gonna win. Maybe next year, but just know your time is limited.
Golf clap. I'll give
Your
it to you.
time is
it's
limited.
limited to
So enjoy.
about 2028. Till about 2028. And if the hey, but the Bus family and whoever what was it winners that bought y'all got to
yeah.
call Sam Preston. Y'all got to step into his office and his office ain't opening until
Hey,
about
man,
midway through
this
next
new
week.
ownership group will write him they'll give him a blank check. How much do
Not
you
even
want
that.
from me?
Not even that though. I think the big thing that Mark Walter will bring Jelani for me that hasn't the Lakers haven't had it for a while is somebody that's
Oh,
gonna push. Yeah, he's gonna push also Rob Pelinka. He's gonna push Rob Pelinka though. I think Rob
Man,
Pelinka's a good.
he might push Rob Palinka out the door. I don't know what this man gonna do.
Hey, that
But
will
I
be.
just know it's gonna
hey,
be good. And I think we get Magic back too. Because Magic's part of that ownership
mm,
group. So I'm all for
Who's to
having
say
Magic back.
Magic never left, man. Magic was in the background.
Hold on.
mm.
Hey, I don't know about Magic. I like Lonzo Ball, but Magic did the okay for Lonzo Ball and not De'Aaron Fox. So I don't know, man.
Or
Yeah.
Magic
Jason
looking a
Tatum.
little.
And let Zubac go too to the Clippers.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, Magic. You might need to go step in at Starbucks or something and figure it out with the Commanders or something. Man. Wow, we gonna let win this thing over here, man. You
That's
do it from
hilarious.
Man,
Hey, but the dynamic duo of Jalen Williams and SGA
Batman and
or
Robin.
SGA and Jalen Williams, Batman Robin. They scored. I think it was in the final. It might have been their postseason run, but they scored the second highest amount of points. I think it was in this postseason. I think it was 300, like 40 something points or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Second to LeBron and Kyrie, who went crazy in that finals run they had, and they had 388. But above Jordan and Pippen, above Steph and Clay, at 24, 26 years old, SGA will be 27 very soon. They're NBA champions. Is the beginning potentially of dynasty, but I do think this is also the beginning of one of the best duos ever in their own pace to be in the best ever. Yeah, I'm still living in the moment. Because in the moment, we are the champions, my friends.
I'm not even an
Y'all want to
OKC
sing it with me?
fan. No.
We keep it in
Yeah,
the
nah,
beat.
I know, but still.
Only when the Lakers win, man.
Hey, I picked him, so I'm rocking with him. And like I said, I'm celebrating out here in California. I'm trying to
You
get
did
with
that.
him. But we
You
did
did
it,
that.
y'all.
Game
We
seven.
made it.
We did. We got through the whole postseason.
We, now I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the closers, the real champions of the
Yeah,
Hey,
season.
I
We
know.
did it, man. We did it entire playoffs, night by
Since Easter.
night,
We've
round
been
by
doing it since
round,
Easter.
since Easter, man. Every day, it went from every day to every other day to it was a lot. We put out a lot of stuff, man. And I first off, I want to thank y'all, the closers. I want to thank y'all for getting us to this point. Because just like the Oklahoma City Thunder, they won. It was a team effort. This was a team effort. You know, the way we collaborate, the way we work. You know, we give great takes, hot takes, and all that. Only thing we ain't gave each other is pancakes. And that don't make sense, but I just want to throw that out there. And I'm a breakfast guy. but
That you are.
but we're not done yet. We're not done yet. This is just the beginning. You know, the playoffs brought us together, but we'll have off-season coverage. We'll have NBA draft coverage and reactions. We'll have free agent signing reactions and coverage, all that. We're gonna be at NBA Summer League in Las Vegas this year. And we're gonna give out some exclusive content there. And what else we gonna do? We gonna run over to the NFL, man. We gonna run it back. The closers will continue. We gonna have more shows, more takes, more fun. It's all coming up. But for the 25-26 NBA season, it is a wrap. And this is it. We are the closers, and we getting out of this thing.
one shout out. Shout out to Cedric Collier, who's about to be an NFL draft. I mean NBA draft from Fresno. Let's
No
get it on,
time.
baby. Got his invite. Let's get it. Fresno in the town, in the building.
Yes, sir.
Have to get him on the closers,
And
man.
we getting them on this show. I'm claiming it. I'm saying it publicly. I'm saying it publicly. We getting them on this show. Maybe
Gonna
Let's
happen.
do it.
we might need to do it in person at Summer League. That might sound
Ooh,
good.
Let's
let's
make
make
it
it happen.
happen.
That might
Make something
sound good.
happen, man.
Let's get to work.
Let's make
But
five, five,
the
five, nine
closers,
connection.
we out one more time. Until next time, we'll be very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.